Systems is again how you're going to structure this in the form of systems, in the form of the, again, one of the other case studies was about how we moved from one aspect of on-premise, having all these huge IT teams, about 20 people IT support team with huge server rooms being maintained, so much of cost, so much of money and time and the resources spending into maintain that. Again, we had to come up with a program, change program, to move all of that to cloud. Huge change in terms of the system. So we're not really talking about the product server, blade servers and all those set up there anymore. No AC rooms and things like that. We have got all of that on the cloud with a third-party service provider coming in this with the service, having their own VPC, virtual private cloud context. And again, that's another case study for us to talk about. We'll mention that in detail. And the style, in terms of style of working, as I mentioned, it could be a department hierarchy of, taking orders from the top, the linear, it could be linear, or it could be a style of, team working in terms of collaborative working across different teams. As I mentioned again, in the last few projects I've been working on, I have never worked on a project only in one place with a team only in one place. It has got to be like multidiscipline teams spread across and distributed teams across the world. Some teams in the UK, some in Europe, in different parts of Europe, like Switzerland, Germany, some in China, India, Philippines, and USA. There's so many different teams now involved in working on the same product, same platform. So the style is supposed to be collaborative, easygoing, and then it's going to be a democratic kind of a thing. It's not going to be autocratic anymore. The staff, the team skills that are required to bring us to speed. So the kind of skills that you need, the kind of people that you need to get into the team. So this is what is called the 7S model of McKinsey. So you can actually structure your vision. Again, answering your question, Kiran. So you could propose to use the ones that I mentioned, that I showed you in the last few slides about the case studies as to how I approached the problem and how I propose a vision in that way. You could use TOPS epochs, or you could use the who, what, when, where, why, and how. Or you could come up with something like in this way, how you could structure your vision using the McKinsey model of 7S and say that this is a strategy, this is the approach I'm using, this is the structure, this is the system. So it actually gives you kind of a framework to think about and put your views and present your views in a better way. So that's another thing. So again, so we'll not spend much time. We've already discussed this as we were discussing. So values that drive the organization, shared values, beliefs, superordinate goals, and then we can talk about shared values and the vision and the common goals. We actually need to talk. That's why we used a lot of these post-its and then big boards to talk about this program. Hey, GCH is coming, talking about this, put up the personas of our customers and users on the wall so people can actually get to see that. And some in the last organization I was working in, they actually put up the agile ways of working, Scrum, people working in Scrum teams and all that. They actually put it up on the board, big, huge photos and posters so that people can connect to it, because it's a huge shift of thinking and working. Skills, again, we talk about, in order to undertake the work, it could be, again, hard skills, soft skills, and then skills could be achieved by work experience. So you could actually get people who are experienced in that area. Again, this is a soft one, again, skills like the previous one. Strategy is, again, a way of doing things, an approach for defined strategy, both internal, external. So you could have internal facing strategy as well as market facing strategies and approaches. And then you actually could follow that using the strategic analysis. There are different strategic analysis tools. One of the things that we had a look at yesterday was the mission, objectives, strategies, and tactics. Similarly, we've got other strategic analysis tools that are at our disposal. We're going to have one later. It's called Poppet, and the POLDAT is another one. How changing one aspect in the organization would affect the other part. So you need to look at all those other things, the POLDAT, people, organization, location, data, and so on and so forth. Again, this is a soft area that needs to be addressed as. So if you notice, McKinsey looks at it as soft and hard areas, really. And define the lines of command, control, structure, so organization structure, hierarchy. We discussed that. Centralized, decentralized, matrix, the multi-culture, multi-skilled, multi-dimensional, cross-disciplined teams, again, could be one of these. This is a hard area because you're actually trying to address the roles, the responsibilities, and how the command and control works basically. And you talk about system, you have got tactical, operational, you've got different types of systems, applications, processes, all of that. We discussed that at length anyway. So you're talking about the infrastructure, moving them from one aspect to another, from on-premise to cloud, the cloud transformation, digital transformation, all of those could be part of that. In terms of the style, so the work culture, management, and then how you approach that, the style of it. You're talking about democratic, collaborative working, or is it more of micromanaging, and then, or is it more of empowerment of the teams? That's again the agile ways, and empowerment, customer engagement. So, and then the staff is basically looking at the resources required to fulfill that, to actually do the work. Again, different levels, different numbers, and blah, blah, blah. So you can, as we discussed yesterday, you could retrain the people, you could actually upskill and reskill some of the people existing who have got that, that aptitude, or you can actually get somebody from the team, a lateral recruitment, lateral hiring as what we call. And then the job rotation, somebody who has been working as a developer could be given additional role of a BA or a tester, or similarly a tester could actually get into a role of a BA because they've got a similar approach and things like that. So you can try and do that. Again, this is the